Hello! Hello, everybody. Hope you are all having a good weekend so far. If you're watching this live, whenever you're watching this back, hope you've been having a good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever it might be. Yes, it has been another weekend of Eurovision excitement. I mean, we've had a pretty exciting week. Pretty much every day we've had a new song selected. Today is actually going to be a nice break because it is the 28th of February. Live when I am recording this, when I'm streaming this, and I think today is the first day in a while where we won't have a song being selected. As far as I'm aware, you never know, some country might suddenly drop one on us, but who knows. We obviously last night had Melodifestivalen and Festival de Canção. I'll be talking on those a little bit later, but first and foremost, we have Ireland and Slovenia's songs for this year. I say unsurprisingly. I was going to say unsurprisingly, they chose the same artist. Some countries aren't doing that, which is their prerogative. But they, quite unsurprisingly in a way, considering the artist, decided to go with the same person again. Ireland obviously have Lesley Roy, and Slovenia have Ana Soklic. Two amazing artists, very different ways and very different styles of song and their types of performing. They're quite different, but I think they were both obvious people to return. Lesley definitely won over the Eurovision fans last year, and Ana, I think, probably was underrated a bit last year. But we'll go into that a little bit more. Going to talk about that second. But first of all, we are going to talk about Ireland. Ireland have once again selected Lesley Roy with her song Maps for Rotterdam 2021. Now, obviously, last year we had Story of My Life, which was really good fun. It was a legitimately enjoyable song. It was one where I didn't know whether, as much as I enjoyed it, I didn't know whether it would qualify. It did feel, I don't want to say dated, because that's not quite right, but it felt a little bit, a lot of people saying, oh, it's a bit Avril Lavigne, it's a bit that, it's a bit this. It was almost like, oh, we've heard this before. And it was it wasn't overhyped. There was a lot of buzz around it, people saying, it's going to be better than Euphoria, which wasn't quite the quote, but a lot of people sort of took that to heart as Ireland really going for the big guns, that they had a potential winner on their hands, which wasn't, it was not going to be a potential winner. Story of My Life was not. And I'm not saying that Maps is a potential winner, but oh my word, it's hard to glow up because I think she was great in 2020, but this year Lesley has brought a really good, just a good song. It feels like something that you would hear, playing on radio. These I could hear that on Radio 1 or probably more likely Radio 2 in the UK, but it's on Spotify. It's on my new music Spotify playlist, which I just happened to come across. I was like, oh wow, that's really great for Lesley that she's on there, because it fits in and it doesn't sound like it was made specifically for Eurovision, which in a way I sort of suspect that Story of My Life had Eurovision kind of at heart. It always was looking towards being a Eurovision song, but Maps stands out by itself. And I think that Lesley has such a great way of writing songs and actually getting people, you feel invested in this one. And I think that the lyrics are really effective. It's not overly relying on Eurovision tropes, but it's catchy. It stays in your head. And it's just genuinely enjoyable is what I would say about Maps. Obviously we kind of have seen a live performance, but it wasn't. So Lesley was on the Late Late Show, which historically has been Ireland's national selection programme, where the acoustics are terrible and it's never worth putting weight on that. And especially so this year, because they decided to stick Lesley on the roof and then she lip-synced a version of Maps. So let's wait and see what the actual performance looks like. It sounds like she's got a really good team behind her. She's got the man who worked on Mons Zelmerlove's Heroes performance. Like, he is doing the staging for it. And again, like last year, they had I can't remember the group, but it sounded like they were going for a party vibe last year. This year, it feels like Ireland are being very serious and they're being very calculated in a good way. Like, they know they've got something with Maps, I feel like, and I'm very excited for it. I really, really want Lesley to qualify. Again, it's going to be difficult. She's in the first half of that first semi-final, which already is majorly stacked. It's going to be such a tough fight for anybody to make it out of there. A lot of the later half songs are very high tempo, female-led songs. And this, it's not quite competing against them directly, but obviously, in the grand scheme of the competition, it is, in terms of the voting and who's going to, enjoy songs like TikTok or something like that that's later on, or an Effendi, whatever she brings, that's going to be crazy, or Go A. Compared with them, it's not competing against them for those votes, but it's going to be tough for Lesley to stand out as it goes on. I suspect, a lot of people saying this could be the perfect opener, like it's the great reset for Eurovision, a song about finding your way and keeping on going and writing your own story. Eurovision 2021 is very much that, so it could open the show, which might unfortunately make it even more difficult for Lesley to make it through. I really hope it doesn't, because this 100% deserves to be in the grand final of any Eurovision. And obviously, we only have so many songs selected for 2021, but it's just genuinely heartwarming, enjoyable. It helps, obviously, that we as Eurovision fans know Lesley and know, how she's come back to do this. Will everybody know that or understand that? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think lyrically, it's very strong, and juries really should like this. Televoters, I think, would actually really like this. Like, I could imagine many. Like, I don't think it's going for the younger vote, which is fine, but there will be some young people who appreciate this. It's going for, I would say, a almost typical Eurovision Saturday night watcher. Like, the family sitting at home might actually really appreciate this. Whether or not that will work on a Tuesday night in a semi-final, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm very, very impressed. It's currently, in terms of and again, my rankings for the year are fluctuating all the time. I've got it as my number 3 at this moment. I genuinely think, I don't think it's as strong as Lithuania or France. I think they're a little bit above this, above Maps. But of the rest of that chasing pack, I genuinely think this is the best of the chasing pack so far. And there's a lot of strong entries, as I have said in every video. There really aren't many entries that I dislike. I have previously said there are no entries that I dislike, so that might be a spoiler. I really appreciate everything that is part of this song, and I really am hopeful that it does well, because I just think Ireland, they've had a very checkered past. I think it's Ireland's best song since 2015, and Playing With Numbers grew on me, and it really only sort of worked when we were in Vienna. Outside of that, I think it's Ireland's best chance to do well since Lipstick, and even that, it was the performance, it wasn't the song. And then you have to go so much further back to actually find something where it's probably one of my favourite Irish Eurovision songs at the moment, since the Irish heyday of the 90s and before then. So really, really great, and I'm just really hopeful that it does well. Obviously, I've pretty much just spent the last, however long, I don't know how long I've been speaking about it, but I've pretty much just been I love this song. So yeah, that's my feelings on Ireland. Do let me know what yours are over in the chat or down in the comments. I will take a brief look over at the live chat now. Unfortunately, my screen that I usually have on this side, where I can read the comments, is not working, so I have to look over here. So you're going to get a lovely side profile this way this time. Just a lot of love, it seems like, for Lesley Roy over in the live chat. It's such a good song. I have it on my players, keep singing it in my head. Love Maps, personally favourite, ATM for Elliot. Heartfelt lyrics, folk, driving rhythm sound. Yeah, really, really good. And it's got that anthem quality. It really does. It feels like a more approachable anthem than Story of My Life, because that was like, that had the anthem, but this tones down like the loudness of Story of My Life, but just does it in a much nicer way and just much more effective way, I feel like. Yeah, I can't say enough good things. I just don't think that it's really good. It's just not got that little extra bit, I feel like, to be a competition threat, but it really should. Like, this should be, at the moment, because again, there could be 30 songs that I love more than this. It would be impressive if that's the case, but, you know, that's a potential. At the moment, definitely should be, you know, in that top of that mid-pack, pushing into top 10 right now, but I feel like I say that about every song, and like there's so many variables. Like Jendrik had a great live performance in Germany and that was really fun, so, you know, does that suddenly come out of nowhere? You know, how do people react to Tix? It feels like this is very consistent and constant, and should just, you know, it's a respectful song that juries, I don't think a jury would ever mark this down. I don't, you know, and I think that there's definitely quite a lot who would be like, great singer, great songwriting, great lyrics. I'll, you know, even if it's not their favorite, they'll think I can respectfully put this 4th or 5th in my ranking, and that will again really help in the long run of things. Yeah, really great potential. I just hope that the final live performance and all the vocals actually do come across, and that it's as impactful on stage as it could be, because yeah, Ireland have got a good thing going here in 2021. So well done, Lesley Roy. Cheers to you with my squash. Yeah, very impressed. Now, I don't want to say conversely, but let's move on to Slovenia. So Slovenia once again are sending Ana Soklic. In 2020, she was going with Voda, which I really liked. Now, I am a sucker for, you know, a native language effective ballad. And Voda really got that for me. I really thought that it, if anything, was going to like surprise and maybe sneak through a semi-final. It wasn't particularly high rated, but I felt like that had enough going for it where it could really come to life on the Rotterdam 2020 stage. And I was really hopeful for whatever Anna was going to bring in 2021. And she's singing Amen, or Amen, or however you want to say it. She's gone English instead of being in Slovenian, which is fine, entitled to that. I just do not like this song. I'm sorry to say that, because, you know, vocals still amazing. Like, she's such a good vocalist, but there's just a sort of disconnect at the moment, and it feels very flat. And even with, you know, like the fire and the staging, like when she explained, like, my song is a song about love. Great. Okay, we have hundreds of songs about love in national finals. We have dozens every year that go to Eurovision, it feels like. Like, it's missing something special at the moment. And as amazing a vocalist as Anna is, I just don't, you know, it feels like inoffensive Christian tinged pop ballad kind of thing. Like, you know, it's nothing overly special. And okay, at the moment there aren't that many ballads, so it does slightly stand apart. Like, we don't have, if you'd put this up against Ulrika's Attention last year, Ulrika would have wiped the floor with it. Now, Anna, to be fair, now has the advantage of not having to face off against that. She's got Tix in that place. But I just don't, it has not gripped me yet. And I think that whereas Albania, Karma, you can see something in that, and it's got a bit of a harder sound to it. We'll see, obviously, in the remix and the revamp, whether that's still there. But it doesn't feel... that could have come from any country, is what I'm also thinking. Like, you know, at least Voda, it had something about it because it was native language. This just feels... It's underwhelmed me, and I guess that's why I'm also treating it a bit harsher, is that, you know, I had a lot of hope for Voda. This, I don't. At the moment, I can't see this wowing anybody, like, other than vocal, and maybe a juror will really appreciate that. We know that they jurors historically like a strong vocal, but there will be others who have a strong vocal, and I just, yeah, I'm ultimately just disappointed, I guess. And Slovenia, I loved Sebi. They had a really, Leia Cirque was great. We don't talk about 2017, but then Tinkara. Like, I've really enjoyed a lot of Slovenia's entries over the last few years, really. And even you look at some of their junior Eurovision entries, they were great in like the mid teens, whatever you call them, last decade. And this is. I think that's my main issue, is that because I've enjoyed them so consistently, this has just been like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's going to need quite a lot more, I feel like. And maybe they'll get that with some different staging, but I don't feel like Ana is a person who's going to have a lot of staging. Like, I feel like she's very much, I am the star of, and I don't mean this in like she's making herself be the star of the show, but she is the star. And there isn't going to be like dancing or performers or interpretive dance around her. I think that it's going to very much be sung to camera, maybe with a bit of fire and some fancy lighting. That's pretty much what they're going to go for. And fair, if they have the confidence in that, but it just feels, it leans more towards an Ari Olafsson to me than it does like a Tamara Tedevska. That's particularly harsh saying that. I feel like, I don't know, I'm just really, it didn't do anything for me. And I should, in theory, be the target market for this because I liked Voda, and I like some other songs like that. I liked Proud. I liked the Moldova 2000 Stay. That was it. It doesn't have to be something overwhelming. It doesn't have to be like a lyrical masterpiece, but it just feels very simple. And yeah, I'm not impressed, unfortunately. I know that there are some fans of it, but I just, at the moment, I feel like it's going to be one where it's not going to be high up many people's lists unless you are a big ballad fan, and even then, I think Spain are better in that stake at the moment. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and I feel like there isn't that much more I can say about it because it's not making me want to watch it over and over again. And maybe if I did, there might be something out of nowhere that appeals to me. But yeah, I just I'm sorry, Slovenian fans, if you are watching, or fans of the song, because yeah, for me right now it's not quite there. I'm hopeful that there is something that they can do, but obviously there is the intrigue of Austria having a song with the same title, and we've got a warrior off once again, where Malta versus Georgia. Now it's Slovenia versus Austria, two countries much closer together this time as well. Will only one of them qualify? We'll have to wait and see what Austria bring. But yeah, who knows? Maybe this can wow on the night, and with it makes use of backing vocals and things like that. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not feeling it right now like I did in 2020 with Ana. But those are just my opinions, of course, and everybody has their own opinions. If you love it, great, good for you. I'm sorry that I don't like your favourite. Please do not hate on me. We all have opinions. It's a song contest at the end of the day. So those are my thoughts. Do let me know, as I say, in the live chat, in the comments, what your feelings are from something where I wasn't overly positive. Let's quickly move on to something where I was quite positive, which is Melodifestivalen last night. The Mamas returned. They delivered exactly what we needed and wanted from them. In the middle, I really enjoy. I kind of hope that it does win because I would love them to go to Eurovision and have their... Everybody says, oh, they've been to Eurovision before. They don't need to go. Like, yes, okay, they were at Eurovision, but they weren't the stars of the show. And I feel like they really should be able to have that chance. I would love for them to, be centre stage and get that moment. And I think In the Middle is really good. I don't think it's overly the best song, but I think the performance, it does just have... It has the right qualities to be a Melodifestivalen winner. I think there's a lot of competition. Obviously, we've got Eric Saade. I didn't like the performance last night. I found it very cold and very detached. in a kind of similar way to Danny Saucedo, and also in that kind of Benjamin Ingrosso way, where also I preferred Dance You Off as a song. I don't know, I just didn't feel like that had a lot of heart necessarily, Eric's performance, but he is wildly popular, obviously. You know, he is mega successful, and he is going to have a lot of people voting for him. So he is obviously a threat. Obviously, I don't know whether the Danny and Eric vote competition will happen again and they steal each other's points. Who knows, really? Then you've got Dotter, you've got Tusa, who I really think I think Tusa probably is the biggest threat to the Mamas. And then I think it's probably Dotter and some of the others. Little Tot, I really enjoy still. Voices, I've got them all on my Spotify now. I've been listening to them today. So yeah, I think Melodifestivalen is still too close to call. And I think that the overall quality hasn't been the strongest this year, but I think the best songs are really good. And the performances have been really strong. Obviously devastated for Tess Merkel not making it through. Don't know how that happened. Really happy for Clara Klingenstrom. I adored her song. I thought that was really good and actually very strong by herself. A song that I usually wouldn't think would do well at Melodifestivalen. And to make it to Andra Chansen, brilliant. I don't think she's going to make it much further than that because she's up against Reina Rama Ding Dong, and obviously Reina Rama Ding Dong is going to win that. Well, you never know. Sweden have made surprises before. They voted Loreen out of Andra Chansen twice, so who knows. But yes, I'm looking forward to Andra Chansen. I think it's better quality in there than some previous years. I think that I definitely think there's some obvious results. I think Paul Ray, definite winner. Reina Rama Ding Dong, definite winner. The others, we'll see. We will see on those. But yes, some good entries from Melfest this week. Let us see what happens, and let's see as we get closer to the grand final where the favourites lie, and if people change anything up in terms of staging or looks. There's a lot still that could happen. We don't know what might happen with COVID. I know one of the Lilla sister people has got COVID, so he can't be there at Andra Chansen. Who knows? There's still a lot to play for. And speaking of like pleasant surprises, like Clara Klingenstrom, I found one in Festival de Canção last night. I don't usually watch FDC. I'm not a big Portugal at Eurovision fan, unfortunately, as many people usually are aware, and I heard a lot from Portuguese fans about. I really liked O Jardim, but they had a song last night called Joana do Mar by, I think her name is Joana Alegre. I just fell in love with it. Like, from the beginning of the performance to the end, so charming, so delightful. I've been listening to it a lot on Spotify, like even immediately after the performance. Oh my lord, the voting on that show just goes on and on, doesn't it? But like, in that wait for them to announce the finalists, I listened to it like 2 or 3 times then even. So obviously now, unfortunately for myself, I now have stakes in Festival de Canção because I don't think it's going to win, unfortunately. I really think it should, because I think it's the best song of the night, and from what I've heard of the other ones, just of the competition. Really, really big fan of that. And I think that's something that is always nice. Like, when you unexpectedly find a song from a national final that you are a big fan of, and even if it feels like nobody else is, it's like, it's just nice to have those like little surprise moments. Like, we all expect somebody like Dotter or the Mamas or Eric Sada or or the Roop. You expect them to come with something amazing, and that's going to be the one, or the one that you listen to a lot. And then sometimes you just like stumble across something in a national final and it sticks with you, and it's one that you keep on going back to and listening to. I've had that before with Supernova. Has had some amazing songs. Madara, I loved her entries in that. You look back at some of the like other French national finals, Emiliana, amazing. So yeah, this might be my one for the year, where I'm like, this is the song that I'm going to love, and even if nobody else listens to it, Joana do Mar, please win. And I don't think it will, and I'll be crushed a little bit when it doesn't. But I'm going to have it, and I'm very happy about that, because I think that's very nice when you have your song that you find. I think that's the wonder of Eurovision, isn't it? Like, you can discover unexpectedly songs and artists who you just sort of realize are great. Little sentimental moment there. Do let me know, obviously, like if in the comments, the live chat, maybe you also like it. Maybe I'm not alone. I saw a lot of love for it on Twitter, to be fair. So I can't claim it all by myself. And it did make the final of Festival de Canção. So obviously enough people in Portugal also like it. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that one. So yeah, let me know, like, obscure national final songs that you have listened to that you really have enjoyed before, and you feel like don't get enough love, and maybe I'll do at some point like a video on obscure national final entries that I have loved, and I think don't get enough love. Would people like that? I mean, I can talk about things that I love, which I always like doing. Let us move on quickly over towards the live chat and see some comments on that. So let's talk a little bit about Slovenia. Yes, so RTV Slow, the Slovenian broadcaster were like, oh, well, maybe we won't do a ballad. Of course, they did do a ballad. And it's to me, it would make no sense not to send Ana Soklic with a ballad. She is a great vocalist, and I'm sure she could do something a bit more up-tempo, but yeah, that was a weird campaign, because then also it's underwhelming when people are like, maybe it's going to be something else or something different, and then it isn't. You know, there's a slight feeling of letdown there as well. I just think maybe it would be better in a different language, because I feel like the English doesn't help it. Which, you know, why there just feels like there's been a lot of like missteps in the Slovenian selection process at the moment. But again, maybe I might be being overly harsh on it because I enjoyed Voda so much. That might be part of it. But yeah, you know, a typical gospel ballad. There is somebody said, I quite like Slovenia this year. It just needs better staging. Yeah, I think that it is so static. Like, a bit of fire doesn't cut it these days at Eurovision, unfortunately. Now, obviously, something like Theotokos didn't have a lot of staging and made it through, but I feel like that had more drama built around it, and it had more impact. And also, you know, it was in a slightly easier semi-final? I feel like it was. Maybe. I can't really remember. Tel Aviv was 2 years ago, which is madness to think about the fact that was 2 years ago. And also, I've had a lot of alcohol since then, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of people saying, you know, a bit of generic, bit forced for Slovenia. A lot of people are talking about Melfest, Tusa and the Mamas. Yeah, they are. I think it is definitely going to be. They are, I think, locks for the top three. And then I don't know who else is going to be in there. My head kind of says Eric Sada or Danny Saucedo. My heart says Dotter. I think Little Tot is great. I just don't think it's had anywhere near the buzz that Bulletproof did. Like, Bulletproof, by this point in Melodifestivalen last year, it was Bulletproof or Kingdom Come. And then sort of there was like the backing voice of saying, well, the Mamas are also going to be up there, but, you know, they're not going to win. And then, like, slowly over the period from the final, semi-final through to the grand final, people were more like, well, maybe the Mamas could win. And then, lo and behold, they did. Only by a point, but they did win. Yeah, it's going to be a very close one, I suspect. I feel like Dotter, Eric, and Danny are all fighting like over the younger vote, because obviously the app vote breaks it down by age categories. And last year, Kingdom Come won, I think, the three oldest age categories. And I don't think that they're going to go for Little Tot, Dandy Dancer, or the name of Eric's song, which I have slightly forgotten right now. Million Voice? No. Anyway, I can't. No, Voices is Twister's song. I don't think they're going to go for any of those three, but Voices and in the middle, I think they're going to be fighting for the older age category, and I feel like in the middle probably would win out with them. Who knows, though? We will see. We have 2 weeks to go. I don't think anybody in Andra Shansen is going to rise up and cause a shock. And I really hope that Charlotte Pirelli, I would really hope that she finishes like 5th or 6th. I think that's realistic. I don't think that it's going to do a huge amount better than that, but I hope for Charlotte's sake that it's respectful, and that I think that the international jury inevitably will give her some good points that will keep her up, and will give her a respectful result. Hopefully, Sweden. I am rapidly running out of your out of faith, because you eliminated Jessica Andersson and Tess Merkel, which I am not happy about. Still not happy about. Tess Merkel 100% should have been in over Ephraim Leo, because he just looked, bless him, he looked terrified. He just looked like he was ready to start crying at any point during that song. It really showed in his performance. Maybe at Andra Chansen, I'll be able to focus more on the song and the performance if he's a bit more at ease. Because that took me out of being able to enjoy the song, because I was just focused on, God, like, he's looked so scared, bless him. I would hate to be in that position, to have to go on stage and knowing that I'm singing to, like, nearly half of my country watching this TV broadcast. So looking forward to the week ahead. Let's move on, because I feel like we've got quite a few song selections later on towards the end of the week. Maybe we'll hear more from the UK. James Newman has said that it sounds like James Newman's going upbeat, up-tempo, which could be interesting. We've got Sanremo starting. Very exciting for the fans of that. I can't go through an entire week of Sanremo. I will watch the final probably, but I can't. It's too much. It's way too much for me, as much as I know lots of people love it. And spoiler alert, I might have a video out hopefully on Tuesday. I'm setting myself a very tight deadline to edit something, and I've gone on record about my love and hate relationship with Adobe Premiere Pro. We'll see whether or not there is a video about that, but spoilers, Sanremo might feature in a video coming up. And then obviously I think we've got a lot of national finals coming up next weekend, and then the weekend after as well. Very exciting. I'm looking forward. It's going to be a bumper period of song releases. We've only got a couple of weeks left until the deadline, so we will see. Maybe we'll find out more about Russia, and they might be doing a national final. It sounds like it's Little Big, which is great. Poland and Armenia, still pretty much no word on those. There's rumours about Poland, which I don't know if they're verified or for a reason. I have a feeling that they might be, based on who was saying it. Or, there's potential there that something is on the grapevine. Anyway, those were my thoughts on Ireland, Slovenia, Melodifestivalen, and Festival de Canção. Do let me know, as I said, your thoughts on any of those, your obscure national final songs. Leave them down in the comments. I've seen people mention a couple from Estilau and places like that in the live chat. Keep on letting me know down in the comments as well. Would love to know. And again, the more like love that we can give the artists, the more love we can give the songs. It is a contest ultimately about love. We've already seen, like, the hate that Jendrik has been getting is awful. Like, I don't understand the people who just, like, why it's a song contest. We have too much else going on in the world to hate on people because of their opinions on songs. We're all entitled to opinions, but do it respectfully is all that matters. Anyway, that's my little peace statement out of the way. There will be another stream during the week, probably after we've had a couple more. I think that by Thursday, or on Thursday, we get 2 songs. So I'll probably do a stream for them, and then after that, we'll see. Maybe other people will just randomly drop songs and I'm going to have to, like, spend my entire life live streaming. If I do, please do join me, and please do subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. It all really helps. Thank you very much for watching, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching back. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you later. Bye, guys. Awkwardly, I tried to end the stream and it didn't. Here we go. Now I can say it. Bye, guys.